New tonight, large crowds at concerts and festivals can be fun, but they can also create opportunities for trouble or emergencies nearby that force an evacuation. Parkersburg Police Chief Matthew Board said their first step is staffing events based on size, so officers can respond quickly if something goes wrong. While officers mingle with the crowd, especially families and kids, they're also watching for anything suspicious or out of place. In a crisis, police say public safety depends on people staying calm and paying attention to first responders. Board said even if directions do not make sense in the moment, they're given for a reason.
First thing is try to stay as calm as you can, and then start listening for directives from first responders. Obviously we can't be everywhere all the time, especially if it's, something spread out. But as I said earlier, we tried to have an abundance there, so there won't be one far away. So be listening for directions, and then follow those directions without hesitation. There'll be reasons that those directions will be being given.
Board said if something at an event does not sit right, a person, a situation, anything that makes you uncomfortable, do not keep it to yourself. If an officer or security is on site, pull them aside and report what you're seeing. If there's no security presence, Board said don't hesitate to call 911. Well, speaking of events, the Taste of